Hello everyone, you're now with me, TVS News at 5, Ruben Gomez. The establishment of a Shell desk office under the Chief Minister's office will facilitate the process of moving Shell's operation centre to Miri. According to Sarawak Chief Minister Datuk Petinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg, the office will handle matters such as the immigration process and work permits for the company's staff.
Work permit, because their staff are mostly expatriate. Number two is non-Sarawakian, because they're existing staff. You just imagine 2,000, roughly about 2,000. So what we do, we establish what we call a Shell desk, just to accommodate them.
Shell desk.
We put a desk and pakai nulung that Shell.
He added Shell Malaysia's decision to move its operations office from Kota Kinabalu to Miri reflects Shell's confidence in Sarawak and the state government. According to him, the move was made because of the state's political stability and the trust that Shell has instilled in the state government. This stability will also encourage more foreign companies to invest.
The foreign investment is looking at us also. They want to invest here. I tell you about the hydrogen. I didn't expect the Japanese to come immediately want to invest. For our hydrogen very infant economy. But then Sumitomo is coming, and then Yonos, with the subsidiary of Nippon Oil, is coming to set up 10,000 ton plant, and they want to scale up to 20,000 ton, and they need 300,000 ton of hydrogen.
A time frame of 3 years is needed to complete all infrastructure development projects in Samarahan Division. Chief Minister Datuk Petinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg said the state government expect the completion of projects that began last year to complete it in 2021 or 2022.
Speaking at the Samarahan Division Pemimpin Bersama Rakyat event held at Kota Samarahan Civic Centre on Tuesday, Abang Johari also said more development projects will be implemented in Samarahan from 2023 onwards.
Semua tu pelaksanaan berjalan lancar di Samarahan. Jadi saya fikir pada tahun 2023 untuk siap semua. Jadi Samarahan akan siap dagilah masalah besar-besar termasuk masalah air. Dan lepasnya memang ada projek lain, dia lain kira lagi untuk dalam masa 3 tahun aja tu. Ini ada start tahun lepas 21, 22. 23 kita mula projek lain. Dan kita beri lagi tambah kat duit. Selalunya saya nambah 3 tahun 1.5 bilion. Habis tu tambah lagi kelak. Dengan syaratnya kita masih lah.
Abang Johari said the state government had allocated around 220 million ringgit for Project Rakyat and 336 million ringgit for road construction projects in Samarahan. An allocation of 1.5 billion ringgit was rendered for the Integrated Regional Samarahan Development Agency (IRSDA) to carry out its development projects. The state government also allocated 103 million ringgit for the agriculture sector in Samarahan. Meanwhile, Abang Johari said 454 million ringgit was approved to carry out water supply projects that would supply clean water for rural residents such as in Kampung Sebangan and Kampung Ladung.
Yang kita terpaksa menguatkan jambatan Sadung. Kita ada jambatan Sadung ada. Tapi jambatan Sadung ya asyik dapat ngebak paip. Kerana paip tu artinya beratnya dah tambah. Jadi kita terpaksa molah lagi jambatan Sadung dikuatkan supaya paip daripada Kuching terus datang ke Kota Samarahan. Dan ada kawasan kita pula apa disebut sebagai tank nak tinggi ya untuk memberikan pressure air ya.
Abang Johari said that he had attended the coordination meeting to discuss and keep track on the development projects currently being implemented in Samarahan. He surmised that all the projects were running smoothly.
In an effort to ensure the people to continue To adopt to the new norms, the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, KPDN HEP Sarawak, has decreased the maximum price of a 3-ply surgical face mask from RM1 to 70 cents per unit at retail price. However, 95 cents to 65 cents per unit at the wholesale level. The new pricing would be enforced through the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011 starting November 1st.
Director of Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs KPDN HEP Sarawak, Dato' Stanley Tan, in a statement informed that KPDN HEP has reviewed the price of face masks by involving local manufacturers and importers. According to him, the wholesale price for 1-ply surgical mask is now 5 cents per unit and 7 cents for retail price, while wholesale price for 2-ply masks is now 16 cents and 20 cents for retail price. As for N95 masks, it is priced at RM5 for wholesale and RM6 for retail. In the same statement, Tan said that KPDN HEP would always ensure the supply of face masks and compliance to the maximum price that has been set through continuous monitoring and inspection at all business premises and online stores. Tan stressed that stern action will be taken against those who fail to comply with the order under the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011 and may be penalised accordingly. For the offence of selling controlled price goods beyond the maximum price, an individual may be fined by the court up to RM100,000 or imprisoned not exceeding 3 years or both, or compounded up to RM50,000, while a company can be fined up to RM500,000 or compounded up to RM250,000. As for the offence of failing to display price tags on controlled price items, an individual can be fined by the court up to RM50,000 or compounded up to RM25,000, while a company can be fined up to RM100,000 or compounded up to RM50,000.
Welcome back. The Health Ministry, MOH, has proposed for the lawmakers and staff of Parliament to undergo COVID-19 tests every 2 weeks instead of 3 days before the start of Dewan Rakyat and Dewan Negara sittings. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said this proposal would be sent to Dewan Rakyat Speaker Dato' Azizan Harun for consideration in efforts to curb the spread of COVID-19 in Parliament.
Telah memperketatkan dari segi kehadiran ke Parlimen, iaitu pegawai-pegawai yang perlu hadir di Parlimen pastikan mereka telah diuji dan kalau boleh menggunakan video conferencing, kalau terpaksa hadir juga mereka dimestikan menjalankan ujian tersebut.
He said this at a press conference on COVID-19 on Tuesday. Dr. Noor Hisham said the risk of infecting the virus is still high, even though temperature checks have been conducted, as 60 to 70% of those carrying the virus could be asymptomatic. He also assured that the ministry will conduct risk assessment from time to time, as well as cooperate with other ministries to ensure that the COVID-19 chain of infection can be broken or to prevent the spread of infection in Parliament. According to him, the swab tests conducted 3 days before the Dewan Rakyat began its latest session on Monday had detected COVID-19 in 3 individuals, including an auxiliary policeman attached to the Prime Minister's office.
Dan yang untuk polis bantuan yang berkhidmat di PMO ada tugasan khas di Parlimen. Beliau juga ditenapasti positif dan juga 3 rakan beliau positif dan juga isteri positif. Jadi saringan sedang dijalankan di PMO, contohnya ada kluster baru yang telah dikenal-pasti, iaitu kluster Sri Dana, iaitu melibatkan 5 kes polis bantuan.
The Ministry of Community Development and People's Wellbeing Sabah has been actively distributing the food basket to 27 districts in the state. So far, a total of 131,052 food baskets have been distributed in each district involved.
Sabah Community Development and People's Wellbeing Minister Shahilmi Yahya said the districts include Lahad Datu, Sempurna, Kuna, Tawau, Sandakan, Kota Kinabalu, Penampang, Putatan, Papar, Tuaran, and Kalabakan. The other districts are Ranau, Tambunan, Kota Belud, Beaufort, Kuala Penyu, Kota Marudu, Tenom, Kinabatangan, Keningau, Kudat, Pitas, Sipitang, Nabawan, Beluran, Telupit, and Tongot.
Alibaba Group announced the integrations of Lazada Wallet into Taobao app, in addition to a series of special deals and engaging activities that will offer consumers a more enriching and rewarding online shopping experience.
The integration was in conjunction with this year's 11 November Global Shopping Festival in Malaysia, allowed Taobao app users in Malaysia to make payments seamlessly and securely on both platforms. For the first time, consumers will also be able to shop during a newly added sales window starting from November 1st to November 3rd, ahead of the main event on November 11th. Shoppers in Sabah and Sarawak will save further on shopping fees that are now inclusive of the sales and service tax, which was previously only applicable for Peninsular Malaysia. Country Manager for Alibaba Tmall World Malaysia, Jess Liu, said while the company's focus remains on enhancing the shopping experience, it hopes that the special deals and promotions will provide additional savings for Malaysians. On November 1st until 3rd and November 11th, Alibaba said users who top up and check out with their Lazada wallet balance will stand to enjoy instant rebates of 25 ringgit for a minimum spend of 50 ringgit. Hence, shoppers will also enjoy zero service charge on online banking and card payments fees.
Well, that's all from me for TVS News 5 p.m. Remember, tonight, 11:30 p.m. with Shira Abang Manso and Razi Ahmad. Ruben Gomez signing off anytime, anywhere.